Okay, we're here today for the fourth installment of our Alaska trip. Today we're going to go over our trip from where we left off at the North Pole, or North Pole, Alaska, just outside of Fairbanks. We're going to take you on a trip from Fairbanks through Denali Park to Anchorage and the surrounding vicinity, the day trips we did outside of Anchorage. So we're going to start at the North Pole, where we had traveled at that point 5,500 miles to get that far. And while we were there, we went to the Santa Claus house and we went to the Antler Academy, where they train the reindeer for the big day. So what did you think of that trip?
Well, I got off the naughty list, as I said last time. It's taken care of. Couldn't get Paul off the naughty list. Maybe next time.
I wasn't on the naughty list. But we had fun there, and we didn't buy anything while we were there. We kept picking up stuff, but we ended up setting it all back down. So we just left everything there. While we were in North Pole, Fairbanks, Alaska, we stayed at the northernmost KOA. So if you're a camper and you've been to all the KOAs and you want to hit the northernmost KOA, go ahead and hit the KOA at North Pole, Alaska. While we're there, one thing that I didn't get pictures of, I don't know why they're not in there. It might be in the last video. While we were there, we went to Hot Springs. Do you remember the name of that
Maybe
place?
in the last.
Might be in the last video. But we went to some hot springs. Chas? I don't remember the name of them. Anyway, there's some hot springs. They were fun. Worth a half-hour trip out there. If you're ever in Fairbanks, go to the hot springs area there. One of the most fun things we did while we were there, we went to the Fountainhead Museum. It's an antique auto museum that also shows you a lot about the era of that car. John had the most fun, so you're going to see a lot of cars there. Did you have something to say about the Fountainhead Museum?
I think we covered the Fountainhead Museum in the last video, but there are some pictures in this one. But they're cars from 1903 through World War II. And the interesting thing about this museum is these cars all run, and they take them out about every 30 days and drive them. So it smells a little bit like oil and exhaust in there, but you know they run. But the most interesting thing about those cars is they all had gigantic hood ornaments.
Yeah, he brought that up in the last video, but in this video you'll actually see the cars in that museum. It was called Treads and Threads. So it's very historic, very fun place to go. We've actually run into other people along our way that went there and enjoyed it as much as we did. While we were in Fairbanks, another big thing we did is we went to the Costco to reload. So we got that done, and I got my feet done, so that was kind of cool. It's been a while. After that, we leave Fairbanks and we start heading south, and we're going to go on our way to Talkeetna. We're going to go around Denali. You're going to see a lot of Denali in the upcoming photos, and a lot of just what it was like driving down the road around Denali Park on the way to Talkeetna, and then subsequently on a couple of side trips and on to Anchorage. One of the things I wanted to tell you about Denali is the size of Denali. We keep talking about how big it is and what it looks like in pictures, but someone described it to me like this. The foothills that you see in front of Denali are the same size as the Sierra Nevadas. So imagine you're driving down Highway 99 in Central California, and a mountain springs, with no smog, and a mountain springs up behind them that's twice their size. I mean, this thing is huge. So I don't know how to express it other than to show you a lot of pictures of it. We'll show you some wildlife we saw along the way. Lots of fireweed. Fireweed is the official weed here in Alaska. You're going to see a lot of fireweed. We stopped at a rest area that was dedicated to Alaskan veterans. That was kind of interesting. And we finally get to Talkeetna. We drove into Talkeetna one day. We did a 30-mile bike ride out there and back. Another day, it's a cute little town. We took a lot of pictures there and some video, so you'll see that. One day we did a drive up to what's called Hatcher Pass. Hatcher Pass is a drive you can do from Talkeetna over this large pass called Hatcher Pass past a mine I'm going to have John comment on, and then down to Palmer, around to Anchorage, and back up to Talkeetna. So that was one of our day drives. Did you want to say anything about the drive to Independence Mine on Hatcher Pass?
Well, you actually drove that, so I held on tight. I survived, and we're here.
So it was successful. That mine was open from 1936 to 1943. It was a gold mine, and so we've got a lot of information in the video about that. Look at my hair. Finally do my hair, and the wind kicks up. You'll see a lot of information, so you can pause and read any of the informational signs that you see about that. While we were in Talkeetna, we ran into some people again that we keep running into, Jim and Ellen from North Dakota. So we got a picture of the group of us in Talkeetna, so you can see our friends that we keep mentioning. Actually, we're about to see them again tomorrow, and even my brother Ross ran into them at a rest area on the way to where we are now, Valdez. And they even asked him, "Are you Paula's brother Ross?" And how does that happen? Anyway, a lot of weird things like that going on. What else did we want to tell you about that? We made a couple of excursions out of Anchorage. One was to go look at the boar tide. The boar tide is a tide that comes in like a wave. You know, those of us raised at the beach, we don't notice the tide comes up. It laps up, it goes out. It laps up a little further, it goes out. This comes in like a wave. So you have this huge river going out of this pass, the Turnagain Arm. It's glacial water just rushing out to the ocean. And when the wave comes in, it's an actual wave, a wave that you're going to see people surfing, and they can surf that thing for 10, 15 miles all the way up Turnagain Arm. And when you look at that video, notice how fast the water's going out and how fast the water's coming in. It seems very dangerous to me to be a surfer, to be caught at that crossover, but we got some really good videos of it, so be sure to watch that. When that water is out, that bay is basically quicksand, and it is amazing how many people walk out there, sink, and drown, because no one can save them. You sink, you sink. So no matter how many signs they post. Very interesting. So you'll see that, the Turnagain Arm boar tide. We take a ride through the longest car/train tunnel to Whittier. It's 2.5 miles long, and you'll get to see that. Extreme weather. We go from a nice semi-cloudy day on one side of the mountain, and we come out the other side, and we're in a ice fog. It was really an interesting day. The final city that we ventured out to from Anchorage was a city called Hope, Alaska. Now, John knows a little bit more about that. I can just tell you it's really pretty. It's on the other side of Turnagain Arm, across the bay where we watch the surfers come in. And what happened to it? It got wiped out in the earthquake?
It's a nice drive up there. It's got a river running through it, so there's fishermen everywhere and a little RV park in a small town. But the interesting thing about it, in the 1964 earthquake, the whole town, it dropped 6 feet, so it was underwater. So these houses are built pre-1964, but they had to take them and move them up into town a little farther to higher ground because they were underwater. So that earthquake in 1964, apparently it was a 9.2, lasted 5 minutes, and the Pacific plate dropped 6 feet.
Yeah, so we were in Homer, which you'll see the Kenai Peninsula in our next video. Homer, where we are right now, Valdez, and Hope. All these cities completely just went underwater as a result of that earthquake. So it's a very interesting place if you are interested in history and geological nightmares. And so that's what this video covers. We end it with a nice little view of us watching the Olympics, settling in after a long day of touring around. And we're working on the next video, which is the Kenai Peninsula. My brother Ross flew into Anchorage while we were there, and we all ventured on down through the Kenai Peninsula to Homer, and subsequently quite the drive out here to Valdez through some breathtaking scenery, waterfalls, animals. You won't believe what we've seen since we've been here in Valdez. So we look forward to doing that. So So, anything else to say? We're having fun.
That's it.
We're experiencing Alaska weather now. We have been enjoying a really mild summer up here, but Valdez has been socked in since we got here. And we're going to leave here tomorrow and start heading back home. That's what we're looking forward to. I'm going to pick up the camera really quick as we say goodbye and just show you that it actually did get green out here in Valdez. Maybe before I release this, I'll send you a picture of the Valdez Harbor where we went out yesterday.
No bears behind us.
Yeah, there's no bears. There's a lot of bears here. Yeah, a lot of bears here. Okay, have fun. What in the heck is all the noise? Here comes the dome train. Just the Denali General Park area. Just driving. We're almost to Cantwell. But I haven't been videoing because I really can't explain it to you. I mean, you can't see it in a video. Yeah, just need to do it. Did just see a moose taking a bath in the river. Put that up. Keep looking at the mountain or you'll miss the frost heaves. The mountains, right? Sirius XM does not work in Alaska. Just at the edge of Denali Park. Kind of pretty here. South side of Denali Park. We're walking around the cute little town of Talkeetna, Alaska. Really cute. We just had lunch over there at the brewery, and I know you can't see it now, but it is a cute little city with a nice view out here when you get to the river of Denali and the Alaskan mountain range. We still got the best view up at the lodge up on a hill over there. But Talkeetna is a cute little place with a lot of cute little stores and a good brewery. And of course, your average everyday sled dog tour and open air market. So if you're ever in the area, Talkeetna is the place to be. Pass. It's really pretty. We just started making an elevation change. It's a dirt road. When we get to the top, we expect to see a coal mine. But we have a little snow on the hills around us. I don't know if that's going to come into zoom here. I think you can see it around there. But it's a real pretty drive, and everything's really green out here. So we're north of Anchorage, maybe 50 miles, climbing again the Hatcher Pass. We're climbing Hatcher Pass and kind of got to a viewpoint. We just had to stop and capture this, as usual, with the note that it's really hard to show you the size and scope of what we're looking at. Trying to get in the shot. Okay. More of the Hatcher Pass. Pretty cool being out here. We're at the top of the Independence Mine, where the rock was hauled and sorted, and then the gold or gold-ish rock would go one way, and the rock that needed to be discarded came across these tracks and was taken away. See? These are just trails above the mine. We're just above the mine, and there's just a multitude of trails if you want to go for a walk in the hills. Okay, we're going into the Whittier Tunnel. We just paid. We're in lane 3. We get a green light. Still getting a green light. Stop. Green. I'm gonna roll up the window and get the air conditioner on so we can breathe. It's the longest tunnel that is used by cars and railroads in North America. So in we go, and as you'll see, we're gonna get right on the train tracks. Look at that. The train already went through. We saw it go through earlier. So I'm gonna hand the videoing to John. Actually, I don't need to because this selfie stick is kind of nice. I'm driving through the railroad tunnel. It takes 6.5 minutes to complete the 2.5 mile drive at 25 miles an hour, and you're not allowed to tailgate. It's kind of unnerving driving on this rail. No. Okay. I'm handing the phone to John to turn off. So we're sitting in the car having dinner, waiting for the boar tide to come by Beluga Point here on Turnagain Arm, just out of Anchorage. Beluga Point is an important point for a couple of reasons. It's where Turnagain Arm narrows, and as the boar tide comes in, we'll be able to see the actual wave come up. And this wave can be big, and we have in videos, if you look it up, you'll see surfers doing it. So our hope is that there's some surfers down there we can't see, and we're waiting for the wave. It's a controlled tidal wave that happens twice a day. And today is a high tide day, so it could be more fun than usual. The other thing, right behind the boar tide, within a half an hour, there tends to be an appearance of beluga whales. And this is a great viewing place. So that's what we're doing. And I'm gonna finish my dinner. I can't stop burping. John's outside with a neighbor who we're all looking at our tide charts, and we're waiting for it to happen. So it's very exciting. This is our life. We go places, we sit and wait for something to happen. We saw 2 bald eagles this morning, so there's that. No, wave, it's right in front of us. I know, that's where I said it's passing us up. That's it, that's the only obvious wave. We could notice on time-lapse video that the water stopped flowing, and then I looked out there and saw it. It just passed us. So right after it gets past us, it picks up and starts making a pretty wave. He's on it. He's got it. That guy way out there's got it too. See the guy way out there, John? Here it comes, the board tide. Surfers are on it. They're riding it. Here they come. And they're going to pick up some more surfers here. Okay, let's see if they catch it. Go, go. He's, wow, he got smashed. Did he get it? Another one? Surfers waiting. Marissa has to come do this. Oh my God, I can't believe we caught it. They're just waiting. You could see them in the water. Waiting. Let's see if this guy gets it. Goes. These guys got it, huh? Those guys got it. See it? Look how good he's doing.